Turned down for what? Jay Lee. Hey sis. How you doing
Hey,
today?
hey, hey.
Now why they over here playing with me? So y'all
Uh-oh.
look. We sending this to Instagram. We are on. There you go. Oh, we so cute. I'm here to talk about. Let me tell you something. Yes, we got the summit. Yes, Jay Lee here. Yes, she doing a breakout session. But I want us to really have an honest conversation around who responsibility is to help you with your problems. Jay Lee likes to help people with their problems. However, she does not assume responsibility, right? So before I
Correct.
go all the way in, I'm gonna tag somebody in right quick for this go off, go in that's finna happen. But tell the people who you are, what you do, and what you be about, and all of the things.
Absolutely, absolutely. My name is Jerecia Lee. For those of you who do not know me, I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am the CEO of Journey with J. Lee Consulting, LLC, where we provide virtual mental health counseling, and we also partner with community agencies to bring mental health workshops and trainings to the community. Our mission, our goal, our purpose is partnering with and working with professionals and helping them move from stuck to becoming unstoppable by looking at the limiting core beliefs that's keeping them stuck or anything that's keeping them stuck. This is what we do. This is who we are. Shooting it back to you, Kanitra.
Ma'am, I said she better go off over here, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I muted. Glad I muted myself." Because that's just hey y'all hey that's just we got to be solid on us like that's really why we're having this conversation though. We're talking about getting unstuck is your work, right? And you have so many things. You got frameworks and like y'all you want to talk about a resource, she got you. Like just go to the website and just start somewhere. By the time you finish with one resource, she gonna be done build another framework for you. Okay, like tell me I'm lying. I ain't lying.
You're
Mm-hmm.
not. I was actually doing a recording earlier today, and I realized as I was preparing for that one that something else that I need to add to my intro is that I am very passionate about being a resource or offering resources to the community because everybody cannot get into therapy. It's not always accessible. So as I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at the things that I've created, there's a lot of free things out there, but then there's of course going to be some paid things. So I think I am going to be shifting into, which I think we've had multiple conversations about the resources, but I feel like it's about to become very intentional about that. So just a side note.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm glad about that because what's true about us not being stuck, right? And that's what we're talking about, getting
Mhm.
unstuck, right? What we have to be honest about is I can't be everywhere all the time. And it's some people who stuck because you insist on requiring yourself to do something that's not your assignment.
Correct.
Who's the problem? Who's the problem?
Sometimes it's us.
Mm-hmm. That's so honest.
Well, to be truthful, a lot of times it's us. Um, and it's us because we get stuck sometimes in our perception, right?
Mm,
We can have an experience and we will allow that experience
mm,
to now dictate how we maneuver or what our story will be, and
mm,
we release the control that we actually have in
uh-huh.
doing the doing the work to move past it. And so this is part of this is learning what is our ownership, right? Like, and there's a couple of ways that we can do that. One, we got to become aware. We got to become aware of what our experiences are. That's the first step. And not just becoming aware and staying like allowing that to be the storyline.
That's good because I often go back nowadays and I look at where we come from. Like the
Mm-hmm.
awareness work for me is what was the pattern my mama had? What did my daddy do? Okay, well, what did granny do? Oh, well, I just did that. And there are things, and hey, mom, there are things that I do and I fuss at my mama about, and then I do something, be like, you just did the same thing you fuss at her about. You got it from her, both of y'all. Like, awareness of it, right? And that's not to pick
Right.
on anybody. That is having an honest conversation about the root
Mhm.
of something so you can do something about it. Because I can't complain about it when she do and then turn around and duplicate the same behavior. Ma'am, unstick yourself.
Unstick yourself.
I
Yep.
don't just fuss at y'all. I fuss at me and my mama. Whoever. Kiki.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
And
Crystal.
that's how we start also breaking some of those generational, we talk about generational curses and patterns and stuff like that, but that's how we start breaking those things, is becoming aware and no longer saying, well, my mama did it that way, well, my daddy did it that way. We absolutely are seeing that just because our parents did it a certain way, it doesn't mean that we need to continue it. One example that I feel like that's coming up and that we're seeing a lot of, and I think part of this is sticking out to me because of the conversation that we just had last night
Mm-hmm.
in that group, where we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about kids and their emotional intelligence, right? Well, I'm gonna say me, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, but I was in the generation of kids are to be seen and not heard, right? So, and a lot of times we wasn't even supposed to be seen, because if there's grown up conversations, you're
You ain't
told to
supposed
get
to be in
out.
the room. That's
You
right.
cannot be in the room. You got to go on out of there, right? But there's a shift that's happening to where parents are now allowing their kids to speak,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and they're trying to teach them how to acknowledge whatever emotion that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to continue that conversation, because that little kid that has suppressed all of those emotions and didn't know, was told just to bottle it in,
Yeah.
stop crying, suck it up.
Yeah.
They become adults who can no longer bottle it in or suck it up. And so now they're exploding on everybody, or now they have absolutely internalized and now they're hurting themselves.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. I think there's a thing like in our generation where we have learned to identify things that stuck us in our youth, and we are really empowering our children. And I'm
Mhm.
glad for us doing that work. And when it is presented back to you, because when your kids run that grown, when they see how I make it a grown person thing, it's not an adult thing, it's a human thing.
It's a
But because
human
of
thing.
how we have been taught,
Yep.
it feels grown. It
Yep.
feels grown because you didn't have permission to think and speak that way, right? See, unsticking myself, real
Right.
time. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we are seeing, and when our sisters in the comments, Martika, she works with young people a lot. Um, so us getting unstuck is a thing, and I think one of
Yep.
the things that's important is for us to take ownership of our stuck, so we don't pass it
Yes.
down to our kids.
And part of that, us becoming unstuck, is fear,
Ooh,
right? We do a lot of things out of fear, or don't do things out of fear. So fear can keep us stuck in a routine and a pattern, but fear
mm,
can also stop us from moving forward and doing something different.
yeah,
So in doing that work, sometimes we got to have an honest conversation of, what am I actually fearful of?
yeah,
What am I trying to protect myself from? And then even asking another question of, the actions that I'm taking, is it actually protecting me from what I'm trying to protect myself from? Because a lot of times it is absolutely not. We're just missing the cue that the
ooh.
thing that you're trying to save yourself from is actually already happening, because you won't even take an action.
Wait, I can't breathe. Wait, wait. You out here trying to what? You trying to save yourself from it by ignoring it, but you, huh? Say it again.
Okay. So sometimes we don't take an action
Mm,
because we think we are protecting ourselves or we're preventing something, right? But not taking that action is the very thing that is actually causing the thing that we're trying to stop. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy of, well, I told you it was gonna happen. But it's like, no, if you actually would have taken action, if you actually would have done something differently,
you wouldn't have
you
prevented
might not be in this same space, but you allowed fear to stop you.
it. That's some work, right? That's really some work, and I want to plug for the summit, right
Okay.
quick. We are in summit mode, and preparation for the summit on next Saturday, March the 28th. We are going to be talking about putting the wellness to work, and something that is true, and I'm gonna throw it up on the screen, y'all. Something that is true is that we're at a place now where we know what to do. I'm gonna say it again. You know what to do, but are you putting it into practice? Are you actually
Mhm.
doing the work, right? We gotta actually put the wellness to work. So on March the 28th, you can get in the room. Jay Lee is gonna be in the building, right? This pop-up is to just get the voices in the airwaves so y'all can really hear, who's gonna be in the room and the conversations we're having, right? And we're gonna do the breakout session, and so she's gonna go into more depth, right? She's got this unraveling thing, she's got the 4 A's, like she got all of the things. But one thing that we are about 100%, we're gonna submit to what the space needs. Why? Because
Absolutely.
it's a Holy Spirit led type situation. And the way that these rooms run and function is if you in the room, hey Kayla, if you in the room and you got a need met, the Lord ain't gonna let us leave up out there without making sure you get what you need. So I just wanted to say that y'all can go to gracefulthis.net, get it locked in, get your ticket. All right, we gonna keep on talking. Unstuck more. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
taking breaths, man. Like I say this. I had a stuck issue with my finances
Okay.
for a minute. And Coach Kayla, we're in on that thing on Wednesday night. I was cheating because I went from TC over to the Facebook and I was listening to Kayla and I came back to Bible study. I be cheating sometimes if I ain't tired. But I'm gonna tell you this: it was me. Like I would get frustrated
Hmm.
with so and so ain't do this now. Oh, this person owe me money,
Hmm.
or they need to end this subscription automation. Like I have had people who went into to accounts and set up stuff where I was paying on stuff on a monthly basis and I
Hmm.
couldn't do nothing about it, right? But that didn't have nothing to do with I went checking my stuff on a monthly, weekly basis. That don't have nothing to do with you not paying your bills on time. That don't have nothing to do with what I call my widow work was managing it. Hey,
Right.
Sister Paula, it was the widow work for me. So I had to process all of the reasons why I did not want to face what was going on with the finances, baby. And I know I ain't the only one about that life. But it's several ways that we have to get stuck. And I noticed that my default setting was to find fault in somebody else instead of
Yep.
looking at
Yep.
myself.
Yep. Not taking control. Yep. It's always easier to see what somebody else is doing or how somebody else has contributed. It's harder because once I internalize or turn inward, oh, I got to do the work. And like you said, it's not always easy to do the work. It's really not. But it's easier to put that focus on somebody else. Well, if they would just do X, Y, and Z, because now the ball is not in my court. I don't have the responsibility.
Real big, real bigly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
real bigly. That's good, sis. Like that's super duper good. I know that you have like the unraveling method. Like she got some things that she's gonna have in the building for the summit, and I'm excited about it. And I cheated, right? I was like, drop me your notes over here, right? Like, right. I was like, drop me these notes over here. And so I see the oh Lord, I see several things over here. But I want to sit with this. Release the
Okay.
surface frustration without judgment. That's something that's hard. That's the
And
easiest thing ever.
so I'm gonna back up and kind of officially introduce the unraveling method. I talked about it before on one of the lives. I can't remember if it was a broadcast, a Wellness Wednesday broadcast or something, but I have talked about it before, and so it is officially here. And so with this unraveling method, it is a very intentional, guided 4-step process, right? And it is designed for us to move from having a reaction to insight to action, right? And so the first step that Kanitra is talking about is that step called I can't believe. Can you guys still hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You
Um,
good.
I can't believe. And this first step, this is where we're going to release that surface level frustration without judgment. So in the journal, this is where you're going to write out your raw emotions. So if we take Kanitra's example of her finances, if she is going through the thought process, I really don't want to do this, da 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 da. Like she's kind of going in circles, right? What she would do is she would sit down and in this first section, she would write down, I don't feel like doing this. And she would list all the reasons why. I can't believe this person did this description. It's very raw, right? And so we're doing finances, which is typically a very frustrating topic, but it doesn't typically lead to aggression, right? But this can also be used and should also be used if we're talking about something that has irritated us, that is evoking any type of emotion into us, especially an aggressive emotion, or if we're ruminating and keep thinking about it over and over. This is where we're going to write. Again, we're writing it raw. We're not filtering it. We're not trying to worry about grammar. We're not worried about anything. If your handwriting changes 50 million different times while you're writing it, that is perfectly fine. Release. Release what you feel like is on top, whatever that event is, right? So now we got through that. We may need to take a break, right? Because if we're honest, whenever you journal and you are writing the rawness of whatever is happening, that can take a lot out of us. So you may need to take a break, but I need you to come back. Don't stay gone. We're going to then move to that second step. The second question is, or the second prompt is, when I look deeper, I feel. So, Kanitra, I'm going to ask you, every time you thought about those finances, what is it that you was actually feeling?
Now, why you do that?
Okay, my bad. My
Yo,
bad.
yo.
Okay,
You can
my
use me.
bad.
You can use me. Oh, I feel like I was unprepared.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Unprepared.
I don't.
And
I
I
don't
was,
like to feel unprepared. I got to be in control. I got to know what's happening. Baby, it's got to be lined up.
okay, unprepared. Because I also was hearing and was wondering if there was some sense of overwhelming,
Oh, big, real big,
right?
very
So
much.
so during that second step, we're gonna take a step back. That second prompt, we're gonna take a step back and identify what is it that I'm feeling. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling unprepared, and I like to be prepared. I need to know. I need to have that control, right? And again, we're doing this with whatever the trigger is. And so now we should, when we're sitting here writing this, now we should be able to take some deep breaths, and we should be calming down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then that next step is what is it that I need? This is where you're going to identify that unmet need connected to your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm.
going to put you on the spot again,
I
but
need
that's,
more money. No.
I ain't going to put you on the spot. You did a great job. I'm not going to keep putting you on the spot. I appreciate it. But that's that. Now we're going to talk about that unmet need, right? And then once you're able to identify what that need is, the last and most important piece that a lot of times we do not do whatsoever, because sometimes we don't even identify what we need. We stay in that first and second, right? So we got to move to the third and fourth. So the fourth, who do I need to communicate with?
Mm.
And not only who do I need to communicate with, how, right? Is it something I need to do? Do
Mm.
I need to go to a class to learn how to budget? Do I need to get a financial advisor? Like, what is it that I need to feel like I'm back in control, no longer feeling overwhelmed, and feeling like I got a handle on this so I can keep moving and thriving, right? Because the goal is to thrive. We talk about surviving, but I really think there's three different phases that we kind of move in and out of. Either we're surviving, we're living, or we're thriving.
Surviving, living, or thriving. She's schooling us. Y'all get this. This for free.
This is for free. Look, this is that free resource, right? To me, my goal is to thrive. For so long, I was living and thought that was the thing. Okay, I'm living. I'm going to work. I got my job. I got my family. I'm good, right? But that's when you be like, but I'm not. Where's my joy? Where's my purpose? Where's my happiness?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how we shifted into thriving. So in that fourth one, we're going to identify who we need to communicate with. And sometimes we may need to actually have a conversation with ourselves.
Yeah.
You keep getting disrespected because you keep putting yourself in spaces where you know people don't know how to steward you. But you keep giving them the responsibility to show up and do something different when they have consistently showed us that they cannot and will not.
Mhm.
So now that conversation has to be with us. I'm about to go through a season of where I'm going to lose all my friends because I'm not doing it no more. And because we want community and because we want love and because I
That,
don't know.
that Malcolm X song.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's so good. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to hide because everything you're saying is true. Like if you are frustrated with the situation or you don't feel like it's meeting your expectation, it's because you have not put the proper boundaries in place to unstick yourself from the place you've been stuck in so that you can move into thriving. You thriving is your responsibility. It is not an external measurement of what it looks like for you to thrive. That happens inside first. Because there's some people out here living their best life, got half of what you got. I ain't yelling, but they have a resolve within themselves. Whatever my lot. Come on, somebody. I got to steward well what I actually have. So that is, there's so much accountability. There's so much accountability in this conversation. Quit expecting for people to be better and you ain't changed. Sometimes our change is what helps other people be better. You
It
keep showing up.
is. It really is. It really is.
Paula said, "This is good." I
Well,
love.
come on in the summit. Come on in the summit, okay?
Look, y'all come me there. We did good. It's 5:23. Like real talk. So I'm gonna say this right quick,
Okay.
y'all. One, go get your ticket. It's either tickets or teas. That's what we doing. Okay, I'm gonna put it up here for y'all and everything. The link is in the description. But look, what we doing is this. Either you getting a ticket and you getting in the room so you can eat at this good table and leave change forever, or you getting a tea and you gonna catch a replay somewhere and you gonna show up with do the work, cross your chest. One or the other. There is a way for you to be a part of what's happening inside of this movement. And we've got to take ownership. We have got to take ownership. So I got to say, one, Jay Lee be holding it down. Okay. Jay Lee be holding it down. Not only is she running her practice in Hinesville, Georgia, but she also is a wellness partner with GFT. I'm finna put her graphic up here. She does a series called Language Traps.
Yes.
Doing the language. She is an official vetted GFT wellness partner. Put some respect on her name. But on Wednesdays, you can catch her on her platform, but you can also catch her on the Wellness Work broadcast as a regular. So when we get into the summit, y'all, she is gonna help us to do some unpacking around that language, around the language, what's getting you stuck. We're going to do some work, right? And just like she said, you got to make a decision. What do I need?
Yep.
I need help. What kind of help do you need? I need help
Mm-hmm.
with this. Well, what do I have available to me? What are the resources? I'm just a second. I decided I wasn't going to sit on the other thing. Y'all sitting on my lap. That's why y'all rocking with me. So just lean with the rock with this what we doing on today. God bless you. So yeah, it's so good. Jaylee, tell me what you are most excited about for the summit.
Just to be in the room. When I attended last year, I attended as a wellness partner that was just kind of there if someone needed something. And typically when I show up in a space as a wellness partner or something like that, um, I'm in my observation mode. But even in that, I actually had the opportunity to turn off my observation mode and receive. And once I received, mm, I was poured into that literally helped shifted me. I literally walked away from that conference having a lot of clarity on what I needed to do next. Things that I was questioning, not necessarily questioning, but wasn't sure about. I received the clarity that I needed. to move forward and to take that next step. So I'm just excited to be in the room because I know that I'm going to receive whatever it is that I need to receive in addition to pouring out. I'm excited that my book will be there, so I will have some copies. When you say resource, like I am super excited about being able to provide resources to people. I want this book in as many hands as I can, and it's not based off of, oh, I'm trying to make money, I'm trying to make profit. It has nothing to do with that. I know that if you use this book, it will absolutely help you get unstuck, right? There's 42 entries. So you got 42 times, okay? 42 times to walk through this method. And there's a midpoint to where midway, there's a check-in. Okay, what's going on? I need you to review the first 21. What's going on? So these next 21 can hopefully look a little bit different. And then by the time you finished the book, if you need the whole book, because I would even like it if you ain't even got to make it through the whole book, right? But if you need the whole book, by the time you're different, you're automatically able to go through the process.
Yes, I love that for us because that has been my experience. That is the experience that we had with the grace model. And so I'm looking for people to tap in and get unraveled. Call it what you want to call it. Down, who cares? Get what you need and get free. We got to get free because God has an assignment for us to do. And there are people who are coming. Lord Jesus, today, we got 2 minutes. I'm saying this to my builders. If you know God been on your back, if you know that you are a person that is stewarding people, you don't have permission to be stuck. You don't have permission to be unregulated. You don't have permission to be unwell because God ain't playing with us about us playing around with the souls that are getting ready to come into the kingdom of God. You can play around if you want to, but I will be prepared to steward well those who come in. Some of us are called to be shepherds. Come on, my fivefold gifted people. We're going to go there. We're going to get Prophetess K for just a second. Some of y'all are shepherds. Typically, you hear the word pastor. It is a shepherding gift. It is a caring gift. It is being able to have a collection of people that get ministered to and that are cared for and that are nurtured. Usually we think of mama in, like Coach Kayla is a mama. She is a nurturer in that kind of way. Some of us are meant to care for and to steward and to shepherd and nurture people, not so that they stay with us forever, but you're supposed to be an equipping place. There's some people who are called to be. You a straight up conduit. I know GFP is a conduit. People come in here and they get sent back out. Go launch your stuff. Get your YouTube together. Let's go. Like that's legit what be happening around here. And is Coach Kayla, period, y'all. So I'm saying that because I want you to know what's in the room for you. What is in the room for you? It is a space that's going to activate what you already have. You can't activate something that's absent. You got a lot in you. It's just been cloaked by grief. It's been covered by difficulty. It's been covered by generational language and commitment that you have used to excuse yourself and allow mediocrity. No more. God has created rooms and spaces. So I'm gonna quit. Let's go. Period. Right, Paula? I ain't yelling. So this has been your episode of
the switch up. Okay.
This has been your speaker pop-up with Kenichi Moselle, the founder of Grace for This, and Jay Lee of Journey with Jay Lee Consulting. We're so glad to have you. We can't wait to see you at the summit. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, man, y'all. So I'm excited. Y'all show Jay Lee some love. Y'all tag somebody in here. If you're on Facebook, definitely make sure you tag somebody in. She got her boy. She on mommy duty. We finna set her free. I'm finna go outside before the sun hides. We love y'all big. Something I always say is life can be hard and your journey can hurt, but commit to heal so your story can help. We out, and we will see y'all at the summit. GraceForThis.net. Get your tickets and get your teas. We love y'all big. Bye, Jay Lee. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Kenitra Moselle, and I am founder of a beautiful community called Grace for This. We are about women taking ownership of their wellness journey in 3 ways: personally, relationally, and professionally. I'm inviting you to be honest about your grieving experience, your healing experience, and then lastly, your building experience. You're going through this because you're graced for this.